This is Sarah Houdoff reporting live from the major hospital in town. This just in, it stopped raining. And doctors and nurses have successfully saved Officer Knight and Greg the dog by creating... Dogman!
Allow me to introduce myself. I am a character whose name you do not know and will never know because the writers didn't give me one. And before I tell you who the writers are, I just want you to know that you can call me the Chief of Police Department. You see this badge? You see this vest? You see this blue? We blue up in here, okay? And the reason why my name is Chief and nothing else is because this is a story about when a police officer and his faithful police dog, I'm talking German Shepherd, dog treats, bark bark, woof woof, bite bite, gets injured in the line of duty. A harebrained but life-saving surgery fuses the two of them together. And Dogman is born. As Dogman learns to embrace his new identity, he must stop feline supervillain Petey the Cat from cloning himself and going on a crime spree. Based off of what I just described to you, do you think that the writers of the story is a masterclass at giving peak cinema or even a masterclass at high quality family entertainment? No. It's just a pair of fourth graders who only know how to do fourth grade things and talk to other fourth graders about toilet humor and very much Saturday morning cartoons and treehouse comic books and party pooper pranks. You guessed it. This is a in-universe story written by George Beard and Harold Hutchins, whom most of y'all have had the privilege of meeting on another video on this channel with this same animation. And that guy, George Beard, is handsome and takes up the liking of me. But I'm not the same guy as George Beard. I am the Chief. And I am seriously going to say this for one last time. You will only identify me as Chief. Not my real name that the writers didn't give me. Not you giving me a name that is not mine. Seriously, Chief. That is it. Let us begin. Based on the children's book series illustrated by Dav Pilkey, the mind behind the Captain Underpants novels, the big screen debut of Dogman is one that can only be best appreciated and beloved by any Gen Alpha children who have read books between 2016 and now. Despite the success of the long-running stories on paper, I cannot quite comprehend where the demand of a Dogman movie has came from. Alright? Rather, I am shocked. I am genuinely, seriously shocked that the studio did not want to continue the Captain Underpants franchise through film. I can imagine how much easier it would be for Gen Z to bite back and stray away with Dogman, but to defend the existence of the Captain Underpants movie. Because between you and I'm keeping the Captain Underpants movie. Dogman can go with the rest of the dog. My rejection of this film is rooted mostly from the lack of knowledge to any Dogman lore, and yet I still think of the animation and the exasperation through literary devices such as onomatopoeia. Why? Because Dav Pilkey and how he wrote Captain Underpants, that belongs to us, Gen Z. Generation Z, the skibbity toilet generation, the one that grew up on all the goofy things and all the mediators between going outside and playing outside and being stuck in the house and watching TV or streaming. We are the middle ground, baby. We are the bridge between old school and new school, which basically makes all Gen Z the best of both worlds. Why? Because seeing how those books were being read during our childhood, of course we would sit here and defend Captain Underpants. And if you don't know what onomatopoeia is, let me give you an example.
Oh man!
Petey escaped again.
Again? Again! Yeah, that's why I said again, yet again!
Stuff like that. Pop-up words at the sync of sound and action that you typically see in novels like this, written by and to fourth graders. And some of the brief attempts to balance the mischief and superficiality with heart. That was never gonna work, kids. That was never gonna work. The effort for any emotional stronghold is ineffective because of its brief seconds in the story. I promise you, if this movie had tried to stay in some emotional moments, even if it is drawn for kids, by kids, for kids, what is this, Kids Bop? It would have at least been something watchable, to say the least, but this movie was not watchable for someone my age. I ain't have no kids with me when I went to see it in the theaters, and I didn't have no young cousins, no nieces or nephews. I didn't have none of them things. Your Uncle Chief of Police was by himself in the movie being licked by the dog when giving him simple tasks that when he hears a squirrel, keep your eyes on the camera. When you hear the sound of your squeaky toy, keep your eyes on the camera. If I bring out dog food or a dog dish and I roll it around and the droplets and the fluidity of the water in the dog dish starts bouncing on the sides and splashing on the ground, what do? You look at the cameras. Whereas it could have had more potential to win me over had the themes of abandonment and absentee fathers been the main focal point. Amidst all of the simplicity and innocence of childish shenanigans for fourth graders to enjoy, Dog Man embraces the straightforward premise of the source material and succeeds in knowing who this movie is for. With a current 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, DreamWorks Animation's adaptation of Dog Man will be warmly welcomed by the juvenile readers that have embraced the pooch within the pages, but it may be fetch or step for general audiences. That's myself included. That's your chief. So, yours truly, the chief of the police department, would seriously give this film, give this case, give this story, whatever you want to call it, give this in-universe novel by George Beard and Harold Hutchins a 5.3 out of 10. And with nothing said, I rest my case, and I'll see y'all never